Hey guys, it's Friction here, Tag12, however you call me. I don't really care. Welcome back to World of Tanks, where we are today once again back at the Waffenträger Legacy event. And as you can see, I'm already on stage 4 out of 20. And one thing I noticed with the Harrier squad this year around is that the Harrier squad is actually quite difficult to master because you do not have more than 6 players. I think it was 7 or 8 players before. And also, the time is, well, if you lose one player, you lose a lot more potential damage. So it's been quite a lot more difficult to do well against the Waffenträger. Especially the maps, you have to be really clever about it. You need to have teamwork or else you're not going to be winning. This is my third game. We haven't won yet. We have done 3 damage phases to the Waffenträger at most, and then we run out of time. And that's really essential. So I'm going to show you guys real fast the key things that you should be doing when you're playing this mode and how you can increase your effectiveness, because I've noticed that quite a few players sometimes don't really know the key features of this mode. For example, when do you deliver the power charge, and when you pick up the power charge, it's really, really important because there's a damage phase. That damage phase will last for 1 minute. During that 1 minute, there will be no place where you can actually put the power source into. So you're gonna lose 1 minute where you have to carry the power source with you, and if you die, you're actually going to heal the Waffenträger of E100. You can see I already have 10 keys. That's because somebody, a very good friend of mine, has gifted me 50 keys through the store, and I'm going to talk about that as well in the next couple of days. But first and foremost, let's jump into this game. We're gonna play the Foudre. Before we actually jump into the game, let's talk real quick about these different vehicle types. Now, the Resistor, which is a T60, no, it's Object 140, excuse me. The Resistor is basically a very good all-rounder, has decent mobility, has quite good DPM, and, well, you have a little bit of armor that you might bounce the Waffenträger or the Blitzträger of E110. The Thunderbolt has more HP, 1440, 1400 HP, excuse me. Has a lot of hit points, it does more damage, and it has this siege mode, which allows you to fire faster and thus have a higher DPM. But your mobility is pretty trash. Now, finally, the Foudre is the bad chat, and the Foudre is the fastest one, has an autoloader, and it's pretty fast. It also only has 900 hit points, and it has no armor. But it does have this very useful ballistic dome, which does keep you safe for 3 seconds from incoming fire. Now, these 3 seconds are absolutely useless if you're stationary, but these 3 seconds can really save your life when you have to run away and the Blitzträger E110 is behind you. Now, all of them have the one skill, which is the charge ability, and do not abuse the charge ability. Always have it ready when you have to get away fast, when you have to carry something. There's a cooldown period of 30 seconds for every single tank. And that's basically all you have to know. So I'm going to show you guys the Foudre. We're not going to be showing off every single tank because we have already done that a year ago. But I want you guys to know just what you should be doing when you're driving around in one of these tanks and you're trying to best the Blitzträger of E110. Because it's quite difficult this year around, because basically nothing has changed, the difficulty levels are still there, and if you have a very good Blitzträger player, he can teleport and he is just going to be destroying you every single time where you are basically trying to just to survive. This time around, I think one of the changes that Wargaming have made, which is actually quite an interesting change, is you no longer have these tickets that you have to keep an eye on. These tickets, you had basically 3 tickets. Every single time you die, you use a ticket up, and you had 3 chances of staying in the fight. And, you know, the first life usually was thrown away quite quickly, but people got a lot more cautious because they wanted to stay in the fight. the thing is, now in this mode, in this year, the tickets actually aren't there, and you're going to be respawning every single time. So that's very nice. You can have a little bit more aggressive playstyle, but at the same time, there's one very big downside to it, sadly. And that one very big downside is that you're going to have a lot longer waiting time every single time you get shot and you get killed. So if you die a lot, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. So I'm going to show you guys how I play this, because the key thing is you have to stay away from the Waffenträger, and you have to keep in mind that he can teleport, and you have to kind of play with the, you know, different locations. And if the Waffenträger obviously is a smart player, he will not get deceived, but you have to try and deceive him. So, like, the very first thing is the positioning of the vehicles where they spawn. You can see that here in the middle, they are actually quite close to one another. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. On the one hand, it means for us that we're all quite close together, our teams. Right there, I took a hit from the Tiger. You have to be a bit careful. They're actually better at shooting this year around, I have the feeling. The bad thing, unfortunately for us, is that we're closer together, and that the Waffenträger, if he comes around, inevitably he's going to do a lot of damage to us. Now, you don't see the Waffenträger on the minimap. I'm not sure if that has always been the case, but the thing is, you actually don't see the Waffenträger, and you don't know where he is. So right there, he pops up, and I have to get the hell out of here, because this Waffenträger now, he is going to be shooting us, and he is going to prioritize me if he is smart. But he's not doing that because he's running away. So you can see we have 2 points. We have point number 1. This is the first teleporter where you can put things in, or like a collector. This is the second collector where we're going. Now, if you are more players inside of the collector, it will go down faster, the timer. If you get hit, you're going to be stunned. So what I'm doing right now is I am at the collector. I'm collecting like the power, the source. I'm overloading the generator, and now these guys over there, as soon as I get it all done, they can start doing damage to the Waffenträger. What is really important is you do not want to die with the energy source, because if you die with the energy source and the Waffenträger picks it up, he's actually going to be doing a lot more damage. It turns out that this Waffenträger is not a very experienced player, I think, because he should have been killing these guys a lot faster, because he's already in a very powerful tank. But it looks like we have a player who is maybe not as experienced as some other players are in this mode. Either way, you can see this guy is already down quite far. Oh, this is, you know who that is? Commander no, this is not like the community contributor from War. Oh, it is! It is the community contributor from Wargaming! Oh my god, I just, I'm sorry about that. I do not want to be disrespectful, but turns out the community contributor from Wargaming is pretty trash at driving the Waffenträger OV100. Very funny, because I thought, wait a minute, I know that name from the Twitch live stream. So yeah, probably just here to, you know, have a good time and not get like really, you know, sweaty like we nerds do in this game. Either way, you can see she has just teleported to the second place, so that means we actually are going to be diverting our attention to the south. And you can now see that the collectors have respawned. The collectors are not around once the damage phase is activated. So the damage phase is a minute, and you cannot damage the Waffenträger, or you cannot actually collect. No, you know what? Let me reiterate. You can collect the power source, but you cannot drop the power source off during that time. So you will see in a minute, I'm gonna collect this, or somebody else's, and now I have 30 seconds to drop this off. And this is quite essential because, as you can see now, it's a minute and 30. During this time, when you're in a damage phase, we actually cannot deliver this. So when you're in a damage phase and you're doing damage to the Blitzträger, you actually do more damage with with the power source if you shoot him or her or whatever, the tank. And the thing is, you actually cannot drop this off. So if you're far away from the teleporter, you actually have to get another power source, which is usually the case where a lot of players kind of lose the game and we end up losing the entire match. So it's really important. Sometimes it's really worth it to not kill the final mob, the final NPC, because the power source only drops if the final tank is knocked out. So maybe you keep one tank on very low HP so you can actually do damage to the Waffenträger, then you go back, kill that one tank, you pick up the power source and you immediately go to the portal, and you have to decide which one of the collectors you go to, and then you drop off the source again. Now, as you can see, she actually has started to regain some momentum. She has started to get some kills, or I'm not sure. I think it's a her. I don't really know, but I know that Wargaming, that commander, I think that's a lady. I'm not entirely sure which account it is, but there are like several people who run World of Tank North America accounts, and I think that there are quite a few females and some males, but I'm not entirely sure which account is being used by whom. But I'm pretty sure that somebody is probably live streaming this on the World of Tanks YouTube channel. So if they ever come around here, shout out to Wargaming, even though you've done a lot of crappy decisions in the last couple of years. So you can see right there, I actually knocked out the final tank by blowing up the fuel tank and by setting him on fire. And now you can see 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds to pick it up. He's going to pick it up, as you can see, and now he's going to have a minute and, well, an entire minute. So it's basically 1 minute 30. The faster you pick it up, the longer you have time. And you can see we have picked it up. He still has 1 minute to go. And this is the time where you can put it into one of the generators to actually put in the power source. So it doesn't matter if you go to generator 1 or 2, and it doesn't really matter what number is right there. This just means that you have one power source. You can pick up several power sources, which probably will improve the damage you deal to the Waffenträger if you actually have several power sources on you. But this is actually a lot better to just pick up the power sources and then drop them off, and maybe not do too much damage to the Waffenträger or the Blitzträger, because in the end, when we do the final charge, it's going to take away another like 5,000 or 6,000 HP of the Waffenträger, and then you have like no shields on the Blitzträger, and you can basically just shoot it whenever you want to. And it also, the key feature that the drop-off of energy brings to the table is you actually get more time. I think that's one of the most important things that you have to talk about, because the dropping of energy is very essential in winning this match, because in the end you'll get a longer playtime. I'm not sure if the Blitzträger shot me, but it doesn't really matter. We're just going to go over here and we're going to farm more damage. You have to be careful. This E100 does hit for about 500 damage if he rolls very lucky. The E75 is not as bad, but the E100 on the other hand is quite annoying. Oh, it's actually not even E75, it's a Tiger 2. So you can see that she actually, or the Wargaming employee has actually teleported, and we get hit for 400 damage on the E100 Waffenträger. And now you can see that, yeah, they're trying to, or the Waffenträger is trying to get us over here. Gets very, very unlucky. Tracks me, but doesn't do any damage, because this is the game that you have developed. But I'm just kidding. I'm gonna stop being such a snarky little asshole. Yeah, we're gonna drop this off, then we're gonna go into the final damage stage, and I think we will be able to eliminate the Waffenträger in this instance, because you also, sometimes when you drop off the energy and the timer runs out, you actually get 1 minute additional timer. I'm not sure if it's every single time you have an energy source that you can drop off inside of a generator, or if it's only once. I haven't gotten this far this this time around, but yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. Just collect this, put it in the generator. This is probably the most important part. And usually the Waffenträger will be a lot more annoying. And also, when you do this, all of the bots disappear because now it's the damage phase where you can actually do the max amount of damage to the Blitzträger. And well, now you have 2 minutes and 50 seconds time to do the damage. As you can see, we haven't really shot her as often, but if you do also shoot the tank during the downtime, you can do a lot of damage too. The thing is just you have to always keep an eye on the collectibles, like the power sources and the tanks that you have to fight, and you need to have a little bit of I'd say you need to have at least like several different tanks that you know, focus on different targets. For example, you know, somebody needs to absolutely do damage to the Blitzträger, and somebody else needs to... Is he really going to drown himself? Because that would be really lame. That would be like, come on, Wargaming, don't drown yourself. I'm gonna report Wargaming for drowning. if a Wargaming account officially drowns himself, you know what? I'm gonna report them. I'm gonna send in a clip, and I'm going to make a video about that, because you know, it's horrible. So we're gonna win this one. We still have 1 minute and 30 left. You know, GG, well played, GG. And I think we're actually also going to be getting a bit of gold, if it is the right thing. Or isn't this a special Waffenträger? No, it's actually not, because no, the special one is the E220, I think. But either way, I think this time around, this was a very bad representation of how games usually go. Other players aren't as, you know, as bad as this Wargaming employee is. Holy shit, that was pretty atrocious. Obviously, there are no pro gamers. They have a job at the company, and they do other things. And obviously, nobody expects them to be good at the game. But yeah, it's nice. We won that one, and we did get a little bit of experience. So I'm gonna show you guys real fast. The battle results aren't that important, but the progression. As you can see right now, I'm at 95 of these tokens. And these tokens you receive by playing the Harrier event. You can see for today, I think I've gotten the tokens. And yeah, I need 120 for stage 6. I need 100 for stage 5. I'm currently doing stage 5. And if you want to reach all the way to stage 20, where you get 5 games in the Waffenträger of E100 in random queues, you'll need 400 of the tokens. So I am about 1/4 there. I still need to do this about 3 more times to be able to get the well, the 3,000 bonds. This is the main reason why I'm doing this. 500 bonds, and 2,000 bonds, so that's 3,000 bonds in total. Also because of the engineer starter kit 1 and 2. And obviously I'm gonna get like a commander, Ermelinda Jung. So that's going to be quite nice, probably for Germany. I'd love to be able to choose the commanders for different kind of nations, but they're always kind of set on specific other nations. So real fast, as you can see, I have received the chieftain prototype because I actually pulled it out of the 50 keys. I want to thank my close friend for that, who has gifted me the 50 keys. I was kind of thinking about buying some keys, but I wasn't about to buy the 50 keys. I got really lucky. I got the chieftain prototype, and I think we're going to be making a video on this tank once we have a little bit of gameplay on it. There's just some random equipment on it that I've put there, that I have lying around, and yeah, we're gonna see what we can do. I also gained like 1,000 gold because I re-rolled a few times. But yeah, so the event so far, I'm having fun in the Waffenträger and the Legacy event. Hopefully you guys get some luck and you also get some vehicles. Until then, I hope you guys have a good one, and I see you on the next video.